So to understand immigration, you have to remember parts of our history, because before the mid 1800s, there was no US-Mexico border. Then, if you remember, in the 1840s, the United States and Mexico went to war. That war was known as the Mexican-American War, and it ended in 1848 with a treaty called the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Hope I said that right. Under that treaty, Mexico was forced to give up about half of its land to the United States. Here's a map. Yes, that land was Mexican land, and it became California, Nevada, Utah, most of Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming. So this is a part that a lot of people have forgotten, that the indigenous Mexican people didn't move. The border moved. Mexican families who had lived on the land for generations suddenly woke up on the wrong side of a new line. The treaty had promised that those residents would be granted U.S. citizenship and that their property rights would be respected. In reality, many lost their land. Many were pushed out. Many were never granted the rights that they were promised. From roughly 1849 to 1924, there was no border patrol. There was no modern immigration system, no visa system, no enforcement infrastructure. People continued doing what they had always done. They crossed back and forth between Mexico and California for work, family, trade, and seasonal labor. This movement wasn't considered illegal. It's how the economy worked. California agriculture depended on Mexican labor. Railroads depended on Mexican labor. Mining and construction also depended on Mexican labor. And that relationship was symbiotic. People were contributing, employers needed workers, workers needed jobs. When did this start to change and why? It changed not because suddenly there were just so many people coming here. It's because the United States started changing its attitude towards who they wanted inside its borders. Before someone says, oh, of course, the crazy liberal is going to claim racism had something to do with it. Look, this is not my personal feeling. This is just documented history. We have written laws, court cases, government reports, official statements proving that race absolutely shaped U.S. immigration policy. So let's talk about some of those laws that started getting enacted.